The NFL draft is officially behind us. It is Sunday, April 30th, the day before May, and we're also 4 days away from Star Wars Day. Possible show will be there as well to discuss all things Star Wars. But regardless, my friends, we are here to discuss the draft and stuff. So why don't we? I will say, however, because many will argue, let's say another team will have the best draft. I think the Seahawks had, for the second year in a row, the best fucking draft. I'm going to read you their draft picks here today. And I will discuss with you who's a starter and who's not. First round pick, Devin Witherspoon, starter, corner. Wide receiver, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Ohio State, starter. Second round pick, running back, Zach Charbonnet, UCLA, backup. Derek Hall, defensive end from Auburn, possible starter on the defensive line, maybe. Guard, Anthony Bradford, LSU, starter. Nose tackle, Cameron Young, Mississippi State, starter. That's 4 starters right out of the gate. Defensive end, Mike Morris, Michigan, debatable. And center for Michigan, I'm not even going to pronounce his fucking name because I will mess that up. He's a starter. Safety, Jarek Reed, New Mexico State in the 6th round. Backup. And Kenny McIntosh from Georgia, running back. He's going to be the 3rd string back in all likelihood. Holy shit. To the Islanders, John Tavares leaving them was the greatest thing to happen to that franchise. Russell Wilson leaving the Seahawks was the greatest thing to happen to that franchise. And I'm saying this as a lifelong fan who witnessed the rise and fall of the 2000 Seahawks with Mike Holmgren as head coach, who witnessed the early 2010s, the rise of the Seahawks with Pete Carroll with 2012 and 2013, their inevitable and rather shitty downfall from 2016 to 2020 or 2021 in this case. For 10 years, this team has either had good drafting or drafting. They haven't had really good picks or really bad picks. These were all very good picks because you filled some needs and you also took the best players available. Like, there's a legitimate argument that Witherspoon's going to start opposite Tariq Woolen, or he's going to be the nickel with Bryant moving outside. Jackson Smith and Jigba was the best receiver on the board. He's going to be the slot, no questions asked. Zach Charbonnet, you needed a running back to complement Kenneth Walker because you do not want to run this man into the ground like you did with Marshawn Lynch, like you did with Thomas Rawls, like you did with Rashad Penny, like you did with Chris Carson. 4 dudes. You ran into the ground. Now, at the same point, you also need to open up your offense a lot more than you have been, but you also needed defensive help big time. Big time. Half your picks were offense, half your picks were defense. Good balance. But mark my words, my friends who may be listening to this crap, the Seattle Seahawks are going to be the number 2 seed in the NFC this year. Watch. It's going to fucking happen. Pete and John are in their wheelhouse. I'm not saying this as, a very passionate fan, which I happen to be. I have the tattoo on my bicep. I'm saying this as a realist because San Francisco might not be as good as people think they will be. I'm saying it's because the Cardinals are a mess. The Rams are a mess. The entire NFC has like 5 teams that are really good and everyone else is kind of the same. And then you get Arizona. I'm serious. They had the best draft this year for the second year in a row. That is crazy to think about. This was a team that was very mediocre on defense last year, inconsistent at times on offense, but they were still pretty good, and they made the playoffs. Fight me. I think they will be a force to be reckoned with in 23.